We really don't have time to cover all of the economic warfare that the United States engaged in against Russia last week, but I will tell you that that warfare was far more successful than I expected it to be. I mean, literally, we were able to essentially cripple the Russian economy, and there are a lot of problems in Russia right now. They've got their stock markets closed. You can't even sell Russian stocks. Some Russian stocks have gone to essentially a zero value, and you're talking about companies that were worth, some of them, over $100 billion, and their entirety of their shareholder equity has been erased, at least according to the market price. The ruble is in terrible shape. I'm not sure how we pulled all that off. I would like to know. I think we must have some economic weapons that those of us, the lay public, are really not familiar with, because Lindsey Graham said to do it. He said to destroy the Russian economy, destroy the ruble, and we pulled that off somehow in a 1 week span. It was just shocking how effective it was. Now, that is warfare. That's the thing we need to understand. Sanctions like that are a form of warfare and could be determined to be warfare, just like restricting trade is warfare. So that could be determined by Russia to be warfare, and they could counterattack the United States in some way, although I wouldn't expect it to be a direct kinetic attack like shooting a bomb at us. But what else could they do to us? They could do something like the famous Russian hackers, right? I mean, we all, it's almost a theme that, like Russia has the best computer hackers or something in the world, the famous Russian hackers. I mean, could we endure a cyber attack here in the United States? And what would we expect from that? And, of course, this goes right in line with the World Economic Forum last summer running that cyber polygon event that we told you about here on the show, which was where they essentially went through and did a practice run of a really bad cyber attack on the United States. And that, of course, reminds us of that Event 201, which was essentially a dry run of a pandemic, of a coronavirus pandemic, a worldwide coronavirus pandemic. And that took place sometime in the fall of 2019. I think it was like October 19th of 2019. I was just looking for the exact date. So that took place October of 2019. They were running a simulation of a worldwide coronavirus pandemic and how would different aspects of the media and government respond and what would be the proper thing to do. And then lo and behold, 3 months later, we had a big worldwide coronavirus pandemic, and they were able to do a lot of the things that they had gamed out. So that's why we said last summer, hey, be aware, they're running war games on this cyber attack, the cyber polygon, and so that could be coming as well.
How long would that last if it did happen, do you think?
Ooh, I don't know. It depends on what it resulted in, right? I mean, think about it. If they took down the entire internet somehow, the entire infrastructure of the internet, I mean, that could go on for quite a while. Hopefully they'd get it back up and running fairly quickly. But then, of course, you have to wonder, what are the second-order effects that ultimately come from that? And do we now have to have, instead of a digital vaccine passport, you've got to have a digital passport to log into the internet, because we now need to make sure that you are vetted, pre-vetted, to be allowed to be on the internet. I mean, that's the kind of thing that could be coming. So we need to just kind of keep all of that in mind as we see things develop. And we need to also think back about some of the Snowden leaks and some of the concept that the CIA had developed these hacking tools that would actually do the hacking, but they would leave the signature like Russia had done it. So then we have to think on that next level of, well, you can't really trust just because the media tells you Russia engaged in a cyber attack against us. Was it really Russia, or was it somebody else who had some other interest, cui bono, who's going to benefit from this outcome? So we need to just keep all that in mind. And we can't predict exactly what's going to happen, but I am certainly on the lookout for some kind of a cyber attack coming soon. We'll see what happens. Thank you for listening to the Morgan Streetman Show. We hope you enjoyed what you heard, and if you did, please click like and subscribe to help us out. And remember that we recommend that you exercise your brain at least once a week.